It is time.
All right.
It is
Good
time
golly.
for adventure.
I
Welcome
would
to the
like that
party,
now.
everybody. I am 4. I just clicked a button that sent us here, and I'm now going to give it to Ren, who is the dungeon master for this prosperous, windy adventure that we are on.
Okay. I should not let 4 make me laugh before I'm supposed to start talking.
You have no chance!
No, I'm doomed. Hi, I'm Ren. Before I go around and introduce you to this lovely table of people who have willingly devoted their time to letting me throw them into this world that I've created, uh, thank you, and I'm not sorry. Um, we are going to talk about our sponsors. So you're here. Welcome to the party. The Twitch channel, sponsored by some people. I'm about to type the word sponsors into the thing. Boom. Yeah. So, the lovely people that sponsor this channel are Tabletop Loot. Thanks to Tabletop Loot, our amazing dice sponsor. They are providers of fine dice for all your gaming needs. Head over to www.tabletoploot.com. Alright, I'm sorry, everyone. It's been a decade since I've streamed, so...
It's
yeah.
it's been a long decade, surprisingly.
Okay, that was Miriam's joke, and I absolutely stole it, but thank you, I love you. Okay, tabletoploot.com and use the code WTTPDICE to get 15% off your next purchase. Also, sponsored by So Nerdware, who's run by Maddie, who is wonderful. Maddie and his amazing merch shop are sole provider of Welcome to the Party merch. I think my face is on a sticker over there, which is real weird. So head on over to SoNerdware.com and use the code WELCOME at checkout to get 10% off your next purchase. So Nerdwear. That's what the nerds wear. Also Roll20, which we're using, and you can see it on the little top right corner thing. Welcome to the Party is now proudly sponsored by Roll20, the virtual tabletop that runs straight out of your web browser. Everything you need to play with your friends is ready at the click of a mouse, from click-to-roll character sheets and built-in video and voice chat. You can even upload your own maps and tokens, and strange maps that I will be sending my players to make them feel like it's a mystery. Get all that and more with a free basic account on Roll20.net. And sign up now at Roll20.net/start/welcome to the party. And the last sponsor is Devin Roof. Devin Roof, who has provided huge support to the community since Welcome to the Party launched, for some of the best maps and cartographical content on the web. Check out ruinc.com. We also patrons. Patreon. Oh, thank you. I got you. Twice. What's up, a Patreon? Our Patreon not only goes to support the channel and the people who support it, but your generosity allows us to keep working on our mission to platform amazing LGBTQ, all the other letters, and POC players and creators. Sorry, there's so much text to read. So check us out at patreon.com/welcome to the party RPG. And the last awkward thing I'm gonna fumble out is that we have a Discord. It's great. It's a very active Discord. Lots of channels. And you can yell about this game if you like it later on. After this. On the Discord. So, I am gonna stop talking now for a minute and let everyone else introduce themselves and what their screen name is, other places on the internet that they want people to know where they are. As this is the first game, I am going to wait for everyone to introduce their characters until the appropriate dramatic introduction time. So, we're going to start with 4. What do you do on the internet and where can people find you?
Oh my goodness. Hi, I'm 4. I'm a Mr. And you can find me on Twitter on the Forefronts, and on the Forefront at for my Twitch channel, which, who would have thought it, one little letter off. Some fool out there beat me to it. It's been forever since I've been a player, so you can find me mostly running Mouse Guard, and other various things, or yelling about Animorphs, which is also an obsession of mine. But you will find me right here, right now, tonight, doing various things. I'm also a horse groom, so you can see horse videos sometimes, or the barn cats, which are also a great focus for my daily doings. That's me. You'll meet Palik later. I'm not telling you anything about him.
And in order of our overlay, I'm gonna go over to Dino. Dino.
Dino. Like the dinosaur. Hi, I'm Dino. He, they, she. I don't really have an internet presence, and I'm okay with that. So, I'm just really on Discord talking usually about homebrew to anyone who will listen, and people who won't, for that matter. So, yeah. And Oishi is very excited to go eat stuff. So, yeah.
I am very, very excited for Rishi. And going over to Suze.
Hi everybody, my name is Suze. I'm on Twitter at ZanaK. I don't post a ton about tabletop role-playing games on there, but I had joined the Discord recently and have been becoming more active. I'm also a student, that type of stuff. So yeah, I'm just excited to be here.
And Anino.
How's it going, everyone? My name's Anino. You can find me on the Twitters at Anino Gaming. And this stream, I will be playing Broruk, a male half-orc ranger.
Any other projects you want to talk about?
Oh, you can catch me on every other Friday on the Wandering DM Twitch channel for a sponsored game called Cyberpunk Red. It is sponsored by Artalsorian Games. And, yeah, it's probably my favorite stream right now. So
I knew that you were in a lot of stuff coming up, so I wanted to make sure that you had a chance to shove that out there. And down to Miriam.
Hi, everybody. I am Miriam, and you can find me on Twitter at media_junkie. You can find me here usually doing something for 3V, which is on Sunday evenings, and I am in a couple of projects that are going to be coming out soon. I'm not sure if I can say anything about them yet, so you can just find out all the stuff on Twitter, and I'm here as well, and I will be playing Darach, which you will find out more about.
And what's your cat's name? Because your cat's in the screen right now.
Oh yeah, so that one is Albie. He's the more visible stream cat, and then there's Oreo, who's usually skulking around in the background, and yeah, they both kind of look alike, so you think it's one cat, but they're two.
I had a foster cockatiel named Albie, and that just makes me so happy.
Oh.
Okay. Sorry. I'm weird. And nervous, as you can tell. I also just got over a cold, so I probably will be a little less super active in doing a lot of weird voices, which is one of the things I really like to do. But as you can tell, I got a weird voice today, so. But I'm Ren, and you can find me at Atomic Firebird. And we'll just say other stuff at the end, it's fine. But I am the GM for this particular game called On Prosperous Wins, which I just realized I wrote Tides on the Roll20 on accident. I'm sorry, everyone. On Prosperous Wins is a D&D 5th edition system, but we are using a lot of other people's sort of homebrew classes and just races and things pulled from all over the place. There are a number of restrictions and things that we wrote going into this, like there are no drow in this world, and a bunch of things like that. This game setting is about explorers from this one continent that was previously isolated, but now due to interesting magitech and cool airships, exploration is now possible. So the preamble is that these 5 characters, plus an entire airship full of other interesting folks, are on their way to the fairly recently discovered New World. Very mysterious continent. There are a lot of new outposts and things being built, trying to lay claim and explore the new scientific discoveries that can be found in this new world. And at this current point, all of these 5 individuals are on the observation deck of the Oleander's Song. This particular ship is en route to Archaea, which is the largest outpost on this new continent. The sun is setting, and some of the passengers are enjoying the view before nightfall, where all of the passengers of the Oleander's Song are restricted to their quarters for the evening, for safety, pirates and things. It has been 2 days since the captain announced a successful emergence from the doldrums. A trek which took several weeks, where the air was stale and nobody wanted to be above deck. So naturally, everyone is still taking in the return of the wind and the fresh, salty smell of the air. As this is an airship, the observation deck is a sort of lacquered wooden platform, and you can see the colorful sails behind you as you see the ocean spread out ahead of you. There are a number of people on this observation deck. You actually see that the captain, Marjorie L'Espalier, who is a female dwarf of very commanding stature, is enjoying a glass of wine, leaning up against the railing, talking to a passably attractive masculine elf, and seeming to be enjoying herself. And we will turn our gaze to... We'll go in reverse order. Miriam, please take a few minutes to describe your character, their name, their physical appearance, and what they are doing on the observation deck. Please feel free to include such details as, are they traveling with anyone, and if they have any notable mannerisms.
Yeah. So Darath is dwarven. They look androgynous, although they do love embellishments, as can be seen by their clothing. They are wearing a sort of dark, like grayish shalwar kameez, which is like a tunic and baggy pants, as with a vest which looks like it's embroidered, a sleeveless vest over it, embroidered with mirrorwork, and their hat is also similarly with embroidery and mirrorwork. And on their hand, they have a bunch of berries that they're offering to anyone who seems to be a little nauseous or sick. And they're just sort of saying, "Oh, don't worry, just have one. It'll make you feel better. I promise. It's a specially made berry that will cure whatever ails you. And they're, for the sake of mechanics, they're good berries. And just like there were 10 of them. There's maybe like 4 left in their hand as they're going around chatting up people. They seem to be engrossed in sort of like people watching, but they're also keeping an eye out on any sort of birds or by ship. Is this an airship or a... Okay, so I was going to say also looking at the water, but this is an airship, so mostly just observing the birds.
So it is an airship, but it doesn't float too far over the water. You can still look down and see the water.
So observing some of the fishes that might fly up, just observing the animal life and sort of noting, like for example, sometimes like if there's a bird, noting how they're flapping and they're also kind of trying to imitate the flapping motion, like as if they're conditioning their body just a little bit that way. And yeah, they seem more interested in the creatures around than the people, although they are keeping an eye out on the people.
That's great. So the last person that you gave some of your good berry, or gave a good berry to, was a kind of frail looking masculine, maybe half elf, some sort of elf. The ears are a little pointy, but you obviously don't want to ask too many questions. They have sort of curly, tousled, sandy blonde hair, and he was absolutely having a hard time, sort of leaning over the railing, not feeling well to his stomach, and was very, very thankful for your berries. And you comfort him a little bit.
There. You also won't need to really eat any food, which will probably help keep it all down.
I am not good with this fluctuation in all of this height and no.
Well, if you come see me same time tomorrow and you're still feeling sick, I can top you up.
Appreciate it. I am Francois. Yes or no?
Nice to meet you, Francois.
I hope that the settlement is nice, because I don't really want to make this trip again.
I hope so too, although I hope there's many creatures there. I hope there's a lush forest or jungle or wherever it's going to be. I'm sure it's going to be great. Filled with animals of all kinds. You know, more than just alligators and bears and I'm starting to name all these sort of like creatures that humans definitely, or like humanoids in general, do not want to interact with. And it's just getting...
The concern is just palpable.
And you know, there are these, I've heard of these creatures that are like lizards, but also birds, but they have these big, sharp teeth. And they're like, I don't know, as tall as a redwood tree, I think. But I heard if you just tickle them the right way, like under their chin, they're just little kittens.
I just hope there is indoor plumbing.
Yeah, I suppose that's good. Oh look, there's another bird, and I will go off in another direction.
And poor Francois just leans back over the railing, just not in his element at all. Your gaze does fall upon somebody, and I'm going to now let Anino describe their character. Same questions, physical description, name, any interesting notable clothing if you're traveling with anyone, and interesting mannerisms, props, etc.
Okay, so Broruk is a half-orc, and currently he's wearing just a cloak. He doesn't have his armor on because he doesn't really feel like it's necessary at this point. So it's just a mix of browns and greens, mostly, with knee-high boots. His skin is a dark grayish color, and he's got 2 tusks that come out from just under his lower lip. And his long green hair is braided carefully, but still concealed under his cloak. He's got a book right now with him that he appears to be studying intently, as well as a canteen of water just by his side. So he's kind of sitting with his back against one of the Masts? Are there masts on an airship? Yeah. And so he's pretty much keeping to himself. He's not a very sociable person. He is from Vesper, which is quite a swampy and relatively isolated section of the old continent. So he's on a very important mission to the New World, and he's pretty much focused on that right now.
You, out of the corner of your eye, see a dwarf kind of looking around and then meets your eyes.
Berry?
Um,
Would you like a good berry?
no, thank you. Not really hungry.
Well, it definitely won't make you hungry after eating it.
That's true, but I'm rather enjoying my water. Say that as he holds up his canteen.
Oh, good. Get fresh water while you can. I mean, these are really useful while you're traveling because then you don't need to eat, then you don't need to drink, and then you don't need to use the bathroom. I've heard that there are elves who just eat it continuously, and they just like once a month have a pellet.
How do you know this kind of biology?
Oh, I've lived among several people on my way here, and one elf told me about it. That's why I decided I would make some good berries for travel.
Well, I do enjoy my water. I think water is very, very important. And he'll lift his cloak up, and you'll see about 3 or 4 other canteens lined up neatly and strapped underneath the cloak. I take hydration very seriously.
Hydration? I don't know what you're talking about. And you both see what can really only be described as just an utter character. Kind of stumbles up towards you. They are a very tall, red-headed, but with a big, thick braid going around their shoulder. Clearly some sort of Magitech engineer. They have an entire, like, mechanical arm contraption on one side. They are wearing overalls and a stained sort of worker shirt and corduroys, and they just look as if they crawled up out of some laboratory. And in one hand they have a giant flask. It takes you a second, and then you realize it is not a normal sized flask, because they are a normal sized human. It is just an oversized flask. Like, they were prepared for this trip. They probably welded that themselves, because that is not standard order.
Also, smaller footprint. And then I turn and say, "That's a lovely flask."
Yeah, water's just a waste. Did I interrupt?
Yes, well, no, but water is never a waste. I don't know if you've ever traveled through the swamps without any water, but when you drink dirty water, have you ever experienced dysentery?
Can't say that I have.
Yeah, well, consider yourself lucky, because dysentery is a terrible thing.
A good berry helps.
I've been on many trails where dysentery has ended badly.
And this lady reaches out the mechanical hand for a handshake. Howdy.
Nice.
All right, the bookworm doesn't want to shake my hand. How about you?
I shake it. I switch hands, put the berries in my left, and then shake.
It's a vigorous handshake, considering it's a mechanical arm. Howdy. Name's Nellie Brixton.
Hi, Nellie. This is... And I sort of turn to you questioningly.
My name is Broruck.
Berwick.
Crowrook. You picked that name because it sounds kind of like book?
No. He just leaves it at that.
I'm going to guess you don't want to drink. How about you?
I'm good. I had my good berry for the day.
You with the water and you with the good berry. I need to find another drinking partner. And Nellie is going to turn and set their sights on Suze's character and march right on over.
Oh goodness. Okay.
Hey, what about you? You want to drink? Now you can describe your character.
Sure. So I think Sloane, who probably didn't even notice Nellie approaching. So Sloane is an elf. She is dark-skinned and has very long black hair and kind of a high ponytail to be kept out of her face. She's dressed kind of simply and practically. She's wearing like a button-up shirt and pants and boots, like clothes that would be comfortable to move around in, like on an airship, but also would be comfortable to like sit in for like hours of the day, like researching or reading something. She is probably like out enjoying the fresh air now that like we're past like doldrums and stuff like that. So she wants to be out with everybody, but she has sort of a notebook open and she's kind of staring out into the horizon, thinking a little bit and sketching a little bit in the notebook, kind of deep in thought. And she has other like papers like tucked under her arms or like around her belt. They're in like pouches on her belt and stuff like that. So she's kind of she's like, oh, sorry.
Hattie, you want to drink?
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't drink. I can't get drunk really. I'm not sure. I'm not a huge fan.
Good golly. I just thought, you looked like maybe you could use a break from all the studying or something.
Well, not really studying. I'm trying to practice. I like to make maps, or I like to, things pretty much. And she points out to like the horizon with just like water, nothing else. Kind of looks all the same right now, but I'm really interested to see, what kind of things we can experience once we land. It's fun for me, not too boring.
I like that spirit. I want to explore myself, but I'm not one for sailing, so sort of drinking the trip away till I can get back to some sort of laboratory situation.
Yeah. Are you not the type for travel then?
I mean, not by boat. It's all wavy.
Yeah.
Like trains. Trains are good. Solid. Mechanical.
But don't you think there's something about the water that's just different? I don't know. I think it can be beautiful.
I suppose.
And then she kind of goes back to like drawing what she was.
And Nellie kind of fades off into the crowd.
We're setting such a good example for the kids watching.
Searching for some other person to go try to bother. She actually goes over to the captain, and Dino, you see this interaction. You've been kind of watching around, seeing this very loud human just bothering everyone. And how do you feel about everything that's going on?
So, Oishi's kind of like she's like 3.5 feet tall, pretty gnome-sized. She has like black hair that's braided and pulled back, and she has a bandana tied over it. She has like very, very like poorly fitted like armor that looks very much secondhand, but then over it's like this giant apron that's just like grass stained. There's probably blood splatter, but indiscriminate colors just all over the apron. And she kind of is like looking and then looks back down. She has like a little pot going in front of her with like some fire going under because she doesn't really care that she's on a wooden ship. And yeah, she's kind of just like checking on pot, talking to herself and scribbling in a little notebook as she intermittently burns herself, sticking her finger in to taste what's going on. So.
It's a heavily lacquered ship. It's fine.
Hopefully. But yeah, so she's kind of just taking in the sights and sounds, but otherwise she's just content to be doing her thing.
And you're pretty used to sort of life happening kind of above and around you.
Yeah. Her parents ran an inn, so she's kind of used to the weird characters one would encounter on the road. So yeah, this feels kind of at home for her, and just lovely background noise.
And you hear out of the corner of your eyes. Yes, that's precisely how the senses work. You see out of the corner of your eye that Nellie seems to have firmly annoyed the captain, and the captain is sort of now walking away down the steps that lead towards the main deck of the ship. And otherwise, it's pretty quiet.
Until...
There is...
How
Getting
far up
there.
are we off the water?
So the ship itself is, I'm gonna say, probably about 50 feet off the water at the point that it's at, hovering with the Magitech. But the deck that you're on is on the very, very top of the airship. So you're, about 20 feet or so, even higher than that.
Yeah, she's kind of just like, she gets up and starts like leaning over the railings and like looking for, first in the water to try to see if there's any fish or something, and then realizes her rope probably wouldn't reach all the way down, so starts looking around in the air for any birds that are flying by, and starts trying to tie a lasso with the said rope. So
You definitely see some shore type birds that you can't necessarily identify because they are absolutely different species of gull, etc., than you're used to. And Dirac, you absolutely noticed this because you were looking right at the bird, and then you see somebody trying to lasso it.
And I as I turned to look, I was telling Burke that so if you're worried about dysentery, I can probably purify it if you give me 11 minutes, and then turn around and see. It's like I'm pretty sure that's not how you catch birds.
well, I could shoot it, but I think that would scare people.
Well, what you would need is like something like a harpoon so that you could actually get the bird.
Or she reaches in her pocket and just pulls out a pistol and just, like this?
Yeah, except if you shoot the bird's just gonna fall in the water, and then you just killed a bird for no reason.
Well, but I can she turns around, picks up the pot that was on the ground, ties the rope around, and is like, I'll just throw this after it.
You're gonna throw the pistol?
No, the pot. I'll catch the bird in the pot, and then I'll just reel it back in, and then there we go. We can see, if it tastes like seagull back home.
I'm not sure how it's gonna work, but I'm curious.
Me too.
No. Let him do it. Let her do it. I want to see this. And Rorik is going to close up his book and pocket it and just wait and watch.
Oh, wait. Oh, shit. Okay. I didn't
Yeah.
swear.
You're on the spot now.
She's going to cast Catapult on the pot and try to peg a bird out of the air.
But won't you lose the pot as well?
She has -1 to wisdom, so it's
Okay. Go ahead.
all right. Let's see if I remember how to.
Okay, this is the point where I have to make up how that works. Yes, we are now doing spontaneous pot fishing.
For birds!
For birds.
It's pot catapulting.
You know what? Yes, and.
Or bird eating.
Here, let's cast Catapult and
So
see
you
what
want to cast? Okay. what this looks like. Alright, so that's catapult. What did you roll?
11 for bludgeoning.
Right. And that's just a
It's a DC 15 dex save.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Let's see. This goal that I just kind of pulled out of my mind. I'm going to use the stats for a hawk because that's what I got.
Oh, no.
At
Okay.
level 1, this hawk is gonna... It's gonna wreck you.
TPK time.
I rolled a 2. My dex bonus is +3, so yeah. How? Yeah, that with just a plaintive squawk. This hapless gull. Let's see. It is sort of a bluish gray with bright orange feet. This particular New World gull, but now it has been bludgeoned.
Did I catch it in the pot by chance?
I am going to.
You prepared for everything, didn't you, Ren?
Yeah, I'm so prepared for this.
Was the
exact
bot
situation.
attached to anything?
I tied the rope around the handle, so
Yeah,
hopefully.
yeah, okay.
You're a gnome, though, right?
Yeah.
Is it a gnome-sized pot or?
Are you gonna catapult too? If
I
you're holding
need
on to the pot.
Let's just have you roll a acrobatics check for that. There. Holy! What did you roll?
Oh, I rolled a 22.
Yeah. Okay. So with aforementioned plaintive squawk, and then a good heavy thunk, because it's a good, cast iron apparently pot. Improbable whooshing. Every one of you now see this gnome standing on board with a bludgeoned gull in a pot, looking very proud of herself.
I'm gonna eat it. Does anyone else want some?
Sure. I mean, I'll taste it. I'm good for now with, do you want a good berry?
I'll try to do something with that. Can I see it?
Ren.
Yeah, I hand one.
She kind of just drops it in the pot.
Ren.
Yes.
I've been waiting for this opportunity.
I was gonna let Dino finish that sentence, and then I was going to say, what does your character think about this thing that they have just witnessed?
There is a blur of motion. And at first, it appears to be some sort of I would say almost like a sail that is I would think like maybe aquamarine in color that dashes towards this sort of prize bird that you have acquired, and like a dog that has ascended to most opportunistic levels of deviancy, flashes before you and tries to chomp this bird out of your grasp and runs to the other side of the ship's bow with it. The back of this creature you see has a tail, very scaly, little scaly paws with finely clipped nails, and each of them is painted sort of a dark green that complements this almost like sea water blue and green scales that cover most of its body until you see that it's hard to see some of that that color, because the rest of this creature is covered in what looks like chainmail or a battle armor, pauldrons that are sort of like stuffed up against the cloak that covers it, and it seems like almost half of what it is wearing is bulging out disproportionately as this kobold turns to see if he is being pursued, with the bird in his jaws, almost like trying to swallow it whole in desperate gulps.
I just
Hey.
have my jaw drop.
Where she takes out the pistol, is like, "Hey, we were gonna eat that," and starts running after the kobold.
I swallow faster.
I can't say I didn't see this coming.
I cast Minor Illusion to make seagull squawking noises from the direction of the kobold.
Oh! It's still alive? I start shaking it. Just like...
Sloane is definitely slowly putting her book down and trying to catch the eyes of like anyone else, kind of like, is anyone else seeing what's going on?
Absolutely. The gentleman that the captain had been talking to before catches your eyes, does a little bit of a nod, and then heads down the stairs.
I just sigh and I say, I feel like our new friend might need something for indigestion, as I reserve one good berry and head over.
The kobold briefly stops its murder frenzy and glances up to you. This kobold is about less than 3 feet tall and has a hunched posture. You see it has what looks like little horns, sort of in a little line that grow increasingly shorter, and it just makes this as it looks up to you, with the bird now bulging in its throat.
You might want a good berry after that.
Some people chew.
Some people cook.
The weak chew.
But the flavor, you have to cook it for the flavor. Where she's just kind of broken right now.
I waste nothing.
And just begins to just all the way down.
Might I inquire as to what is going on up here? And you see the gentleman that had gone down the stairs has now re-emerged with the captain.
You stole my sequel.
He stole your what? Speak up.
He stole my seagull. I caught it. I was gonna try it. Where she's just super distraught and
And the gentleman sort of pats you on the shoulder. And the captain now looks at you, Palik. Arms crossed.
What?
Have you stolen something that doesn't belong to you?
They were gonna cook it. It was gonna go to waste.
Do we not serve you adequate food on this vessel?
I am of a wild people. If you're not a bar of the lead borrows, you would not understand.
Can I get you another one? Looks down at you, Oishi.
yes, please.
I don't see you with a pot. I seriously doubt you could masterfully replicate such a dexterous. How did you do that?
Magic.
Fauna, And the gentleman, Connor, looks up. Will you procure another seagull? Yes, ma'am. And he takes out a pistol, lines it up, waits for a seagull to kind of be above the deck, shoots, and then with a thunk, there is now a newly dead seagull on the deck of
Over
the ship.
the deck. Right.
And then the captain reaches down. I have nothing good to pick up and use as a prop. That's sad. And picks up the seagull and hands it to you, Uishi.
She just like kind of grabs it and like nods and appreciatively, and then tries to like waddle back to her previous little setup and whips out the notebook again, squats down, and starts getting.
Palak follows close behind, licking up the blood that follows.
Now, I dearly hope that suffices to eliminate this.
For now.
Don't eat this
I'm
one.
more worried about what we're gonna find on the new lands.
I hope they'll be tasty though.
What are all of you going there for? Mm?
The captain just puts up her hands and walks away. Grabs another wine glass out of somewhere, just starts drinking again.
Well, I'm interested in the creatures that we can find there. All the new birds, like land animals, sea animals, water animals, and I heard there are these like hybrid bird lizard creatures. Maybe, who knows?
Bird lizards?
Yeah, some of them can fly. Some of them are like big with sharp teeth and teeny little hands. And some that have very long necks. And some, I don't know. I've just heard about them from others.
Did you hear about what they taste like?
Probably
Well,
not
either,
good. Lizards probably don't taste good. You shouldn't try it.
No, lizard actually tastes great. You just have to use like different combination of like fennel, some, you know.
Mm.
She noticed you're getting a little uncomfortable and just kind of.
Are you there to cook, then? Are you a master cook for this voyage of ours?
Trying to be. I hope I am.
Well, I promise to give you more opportunities then.
Okay, but let me cook it first, because, you know, that's how you get the flavor and make it not gross.
When you're as grand as a warrior as myself, dedicated to Thala, you learn to make do.
Well, yeah, but you can make do with flavor.
Now,
Ayla?
at this point, Sloane, you feel a little bit of like an elbow at your elbow, and you see a kind of cute-ish, tousled, blonde-haired individual who does look a little pale in the face, like they were maybe just a little bit ill. You don't really think we are going to have to eat lizard, do you? They're just making that all up, right?
Sloane will look over there and then look back and be like, I mean, what's wrong with trying new things? I mean, you're out here, right?
Only because I have to be.
Oh no. Why do you have to be here?
Hate is my sister. She is military personnel. I'm going to join her. Why are you out here?
Well, and she kind of like looks off into the distance in the water again. She's like, I know that the whatever information or knowledge we gather from these trips will be really helpful to everybody back on the continent, but you know, Mostly, I just like to complete a journey. I mean, there are others before that didn't go so well, so I'm trying to see how this one goes.
Yes, I know, and that is why I am alarmed.
I mean, and she looks. I mean, lizard and seagull, it can't be that bad. And
He just kind of sighs off to the distance.
Sloane will approach Oishi, is it?
Just walk away.
Yeah. Like, oh, bye. No. But
Well,
she'll approach the group and go up to Oishi and be like, hey, I'm sorry about what happened to your first seagull, but that was pretty impressive what you did with the pot there.
Thank you. It was just physics and magic and I guess metaphysics because magic is metaphysics. But it's not that big of a deal. I got a seagull.
Seems like a pretty big deal to me. That was impressive.
Well, it's you just trajectory, and if you just have the angle, make sure yeah. So
Skull tries to like discreetly write a little bit of that down. So interesting. I'm Sloane, by the way.
Oh, I'm Oishi. It's nice to meet you. She kind
Nice
of
to
does
meet
like a head nod and kind of like tries to tip her hat and realizes she has a bandana on and kind of musses with her hair and she just fixes it. So. Do you want to try some seagull? I promise it's good.
Sure. Why not?
She like reaches in the pot and takes out like essentially just like a nice little chicken drumstick looking thing. Just hands it over.
So, oh, it's good. What did you use any spices for this or?
Yeah, so it's a mixture between like lilac and lemon, and it has nice like berry overtones. It's only slightly I still kind of use magic to help enhance the flavors, but I'm still working on making sure that they all will taste good on their own. And it's something I've been trying to work better on to make sure things taste like they do instead of like they don't. Like,
You didn't put good berries in there, did you?
Oh God, no.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Okay.
I just look a little miffed at that exchange.
Brooke's just gonna say, ouch.
What's wrong with good berries? Are you not a fan?
Oh, it's if you just eat, yeah. You eat one and then you're just not hungry anymore. And where's the fun in that?
Well, it allows you to taste things without hunger being a decider in it.
What if you just want to eat?
At that, Sloane and Brorook, with your passive perceptions being on the highish side, you both happen to notice the sky just gets a little bit darker as you see sort of a dark cloud of movement just a little bit ahead of the ship up in the sky.
I think Sloane will. I'll make eye contact with Brooke. I'll look around and be like, "Do you guys recognize that?" And I'll gesture towards where it's coming. I'll point it out to everybody.
Is my passive perception bad? So I think it's another seagull.
What was your?
Oh, more.
What is mine?
I couldn't find it on the.
It's
thing.
10.
Yeah, that's okay. That's what I thought. It wasn't on my list of high.
That's okay.
Can I see if it's a weather-related thing?
Yeah, you can sort of squint up at it and do a perception check.
Could I do a nature check or?
Oh yeah, sure. That works too.
So that's a 21.
That's a 21. You sort of squint up at that and you... No, that's not weather. Those are individual spots of movement. Is that a swarm of something?
I think that's a swarm of birds. And then I have a bit of a slow grin in my face and I say, I guess they may want to avenge one of their fallen as I look at Balak.
And
I look to Oishi and I say,
We're gonna need a bigger pot.
As you all turn to sort of focus on this swarm that is coming closer, it does come into focus, and as like it's almost within the moment that you can make sight of the first closest large crow, you can hear the squawking. It's very quickly sort of turns into this cacophony, and you see the sky just gets darker and darker and darker as this swarm of crows is headed straight for the ship. It's the murder! And also, you see 3 larger winged shapes flying in a line behind them.
Sloan looks very uneasy. She's gonna turn. She's like, I don't know if this is a good sign, a bad omen. I don't know. I don't like this.
I don't either. And Browork's gonna actually head down under deck and grab his armor.
Okay, that's fine.
Do
You see,
I-
the captain has out sort of the spyglass and is looking up. Connor, notify everyone. And Connor shoots down off the stairs, and you see the captains pull out a rifle and start to sort of, pound down the powder and mess with it.
Do I have enough time to ritual cast Speak with Animals?
How much time is that?
It's usually, I think, 10 minutes plus the casting time. So I think that would be, 10 minutes in an action. So, 10 minutes in one round. If I don't, I'll cast it as a spell slot.
Yeah, you don't have time. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine.
I hate saying no.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to know how much time I had.
If possible, Palik is gonna wave his arms in the air and say, "Where everyone? Right? What's going on?"
You're waving your hands at the crows, or
At the captain.
She kind of looks down at you. What do you mean?
What's going on? Why is everybody getting their... Should I get my weapons out? And he draws 2 scimitars.
If you have weapons, then yes, get them out.
I can't...
Otherwise, duck.
Where she's seeing him, Palik pull out the scimitars immediately, holds a pot lid as a shield, and then pulls out her pistol and kind of hunkers down behind it. So.
I hunker down behind you. Scimitars raised!
And let's just say, for the sake of cinematic interest, the moment that Browick descends back up the stairs, armor getting back on, roll initiative.
Oh no.
Yeah! Ooh. I rolled my dice. So I have initiative.
As everyone rolled, I'm gonna sort of call out if anyone got above a 20. Okay.
I got a 19.
Okay, perfect. So
I got an 18.
I got a 17.
G, what'd you get?
13.
Okay, and Aurora, what'd you get? Could you repeat that, please?
16.
Perfect. Getting up the rear. Fantastic. All right. So, the current situation is there are apologies. The swarm of crows is about 30 feet away at this point, and now you can see the dark shapes are 3 larger birds of 3 different types. And Direct has an action first.
I, with my speak with animals active, I say, hello, friends. What brings you here? And it sounds more like squawks, like crows, than actual humanoid speech.
Now, does that work kind of like sending, where somebody can give you a response in the same action set?
I think that's up to you, because it literally is, I have the ability to comprehend and verbally communicate with beasts during the 10 minutes it's active.
Okay, and so then, since they're already squawking, what you can make out from this initial sort of first set of smaller crows is just a general feeling of unified want to break, destroy, cause general harm, but not to you, to the ship, you feel like. And also, you can make out the very end of a sort of clipped command that you can hear one of the larger birds in the back have given to the smaller birds, in that same sort of general tone of destroy, break, sabotage.
Oh, okay. With that, I probably would have said, hey there, friends, what do you want? And also sort of like if you break our ship, then we will all die. Do you really want that?
So you get that thought out there, and you do, from the short amount of time that's in around, you do see the center large bird does kind of turn its gaze just directly at you. And do you have any movement or bonus actions you want to do?
I probably am going to move to a place where it's sort of a little open away from everyone, and see if I can again talk to them next round, depending on what happens in between.
Okay, so let's say, since this entire platform has a big railing and a mast, you can just sort of orient yourself in the middle-ish, so that you're not hindered by any other railings. Then we're gonna go over to Sloane.
Okay, Sloane is kind of taking all this and really nervous. Definitely doesn't understand why a dwarf just started squawking as well. But I think she would notice that like one of the birds started to turn its focus to her. So Sloane is going to cast Sanctuary on how do I pronounce your character's name one more time? Duruct. As a bonus action, and then I think I'll take the dodge action and just like back away a little bit from what's going on. If there's like a mast or like a large structure that I can like duck behind or stand next.
There's a sort of sizable mast in the middle that you could duck behind, or you could take position sort of ducked into the railing area.
Okay, I think I'll like duck in the railing area and then just like keep a close eye on what's going on.
Okay. Then we go over to Halleck.
Oh boy.
How far away do you think they are?
I said about 30 feet.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and just use a little thing I like to call grovel, cower, and beg. Palak is going to channel his koboldness and sort of hunker behind the pot wielding Oishi and sort of start making little whiny noises as the squawking gets louder, and the larger birds probably have like a deeper rock. He thinks Durak is doing the same thing he is, so he's like
We're small! Don't hurt us! Rishi, don't let them get me! And if my allies gain advantage on any attack rolls if they are in within 10 feet of me.
That's beautiful.
That's all I will do.
Perfect.
Because it costs an action.
That's perfect. All right. So it is the let's go with the swarm of crows first. And they are actually able to, with their movement, fly all the way up to the ship. And they are very in sync, and they kind of fan out, and they all land on the very front of the railing, kind of like in a semicircle, just sort of facing you all down. And as they land, they then start to just ferociously peck at the railing. They have very strong beaks, and they just stabbing motion, and then splinters of wood start coming off. And that is all that they do. As you see the captain reach back with the rifle, aim, and then you see one of the crows that's on the railing just fling itself, just squawks and falls to the ocean. And it is Brorik's turn.
So Browick is going to sort of brace himself and pull out his longbow and knock an arrow and take a shot at the center large leader bird.
Perfect. You want to make an attack roll?
Sure. 11.
So you are coming right up the stairs. You have just been like getting your armor back on. You get the last sort of buckled, and then you reach out your bow, and you still haven't quite made that last lip of the stairs, and so you just accidentally kick the very top of the stairs while you're doing that, and it just knocks your aim just out of the way enough that the arrow flies past your target. Not enough that you trip or anything, no. Just slightly disarmed. Do you have any bonus actions?
No.
Okay. Now we are up to... Oh, wait.
Oh.
Yes, allies.
Oh, the advantage.
Yes, so you're gonna roll that again, actually.
That's right, because I'm cowardly.
Oh, was I within 10 feet? Okay.
Yes.
Or rather, the crows are within 10 feet of me.
Oh, I see. All right. That's actually 16 on the second time. I don't know why it rolled twice.
Perfect. Okay, so just go with the narrative flow of this. That first shot, you're getting the shot lined up, and you kick the end of the stairs on accident, and you catch yourself in just the right moment and readjust and shoot, and it makes its target. Roll damage.
It rolled 7.
7. And at that, you actually hear a very strange scream. You hear a squawk that then turns into a human scream as you see the bird explode into a human form and start to fall.
Off the boat or like onto the boat?
This bird, the three large birds were not up to the boat yet. They were still 30 feet away. They haven't had their movement yet. So it is falling down into the water.
Oh, you don't see that every day.
No kidding.
Indistinguishable squealing from Pale.
And now it is Oishi's turn.
So she's gonna follow Rorik's lead and take a pot shot at the one of the other. Someone got the phone. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So she's gonna shoot at one of the other big birds, kind of undeterred by the fact that one of them just turned into a person. So.
Okay. With advantage.
Okay. So yeah, that's a 9.
Did you roll with advantage?
Yeah,
Oh.
No.
What were you shooting with? The gun?
a pistol. Yeah.
Okay. So you you make the shot, but there is so much chaos going on with the birds that are breaking apart the railing that you just can't quite make the shot end. It just shoots off into the sea. Do you have any bonus actions?
No, she kind of just like drops the pistol and gets ready to draw her deck, like one of her knives on her little chef belt, and then just tries to like keep Palak behind her with the pot raised in the meantime.
All right, great. So then you see the larger bird to the left fly very intently towards the ship, and it actually makes a beeline down to the deck that is below the observation deck, and you can't see it anymore. And the middle bird, which is now person, falling, is just kind of furtively flapping, and then it kind of falls into the fog and you don't see it anymore. And then the bird on the right makes a dive for the observation deck, and it lands actually pretty much right in front of Direct. And it kind of skids to a land. It's not a very graceful land. Fumbles a little bit. And then poofs out into human form. And you see a dark-skinned elf wearing sort of brown leather plain clothes with very little embellishment, and has a short dagger. He's now standing in front of you.
You're not a bird.
But that movement poofed back into human form, and now we are going to loop back over to Direct.
I say what I said. What I just said. Like, you're not a bird.
You sound more betrayed than curious. You're not a bird.
Well, I thought I was talking to birds, and I was gonna reason with them.
Nope, just another humanoid.
And I say, what are you doing? Why are you doing it? Why are you? And I just am sort of like doing this, like, okay, this is your last chance. Stop it before. And I just I don't actually do the attack, but my fingernails lengthen as I cast Primal Savagery. And that's actually, I would like to do it as a reaction, where if I get attacked, I will attack back.
Perfect. Okay.
does that count as ending Sanctuary, or will it not end until?
It won't end until.
Well, they'd have to hit me first and go
Right.
through Sanctuary.
Okay, good.
All right, Sloan.
Okay, yeah. Will it be will it be an action for me to make like I guess an Arcana or well I guess I can figure out. They seem like a shapeshifter or a druid or of some kind, but do I think anything else more sinister is going on from what I can see?
Just sort of general knowledge. You are. You take a look. It's clearly a druid.
Okay.
And he, like I said, is wearing very plain brown leather clothes. But you sort of take a look, and he's got a side shave, and his hair is kind of like in a little bit of a ponytail. And it just immediately clicks into your head because you were warned in the onboarding documents for this ship that there is a risk of piracy. And so you're just going to assume, because of the slightly kind of like punkish look to the side shave, that these are probably pirates.
Okay. In that case, I'll kind of peek over the railing and I'll flick my hand out, and it will sort of like kind of like cold and icy, and I'll do a ray of frost at this person. Let's see. Here's that. I just need to make a spell attack. It wasn't loading for me. Okay, well, for the first time it was a 10. Do I still get advantage?
I believe so, right?
At the end of my next turn.
Okay, great. Then yes.
Which
And
is
with
after you.
advantage, it was a 23.
Oh, yeah. Roll your damage.
Let's see if it will load. I might just use my regular dice.
Totally fine.
Yeah, it's gonna be like that.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, you can hear
Familiar
it.
sound.
Okay. 1d8. Okay, so that is only two damage. Since we can just go, since I'll be using my dice now, we can go with what the real dice said.
Okie doke. Yeah, so you smash right into the torso of this befuddled now druid pirate. And kind of clutches his chest a little bit. Do you have any bonus actions?
Not any that I want to take right now, so I think I will kind of like yikes and then duck back down.
All right, then we're over to Palik.
All right. So there's another one of these individuals that moved towards the observation deck and is currently out of sight.
Flew down as far as you can tell in the direction of the main ship deck below you all.
Would it take my movement to see what is going on and get in reach of them?
You can either use your movement to...
Because otherwise, I think I'm going to go for... I'm going to close the distance between my defensive position to the pirate that Sloan is attacking.
Yeah, so I was going to say before I very rudely coughed, I'm sorry,
Oh.
that with a movement you can either get over to the side of the railing and look down, or you can go all the way back down the stairs that lead down to the main deck, whichever you feel like doing.
I'm going to go down the stairs.
Okay, and you rush down to the base of the stairs, and at that juncture, when you sort of turn the corner and you look down at the main deck, you see that, as probably predicted, this additional final bird has turned into a what seems to be probably a human woman sort of pale-skinned, also wearing drab brown, but sporting a mohawk.
I like it. Looks very intense. But I'm gonna stop it. Am I able to close into melee range or no? Because otherwise, I will chuck a javelin.
You can get into about 20 feet of her, but not into stabbing range.
That's all I'll need. I'm gonna put one of my scimitars under Palik's armpit and just sort of like, ah! And I'm gonna toss a javelin. All right, that is 19 to hit.
That hits.
All right, I will roll a d6 to further the damage. Because it's thrown. Oh wait, no, I think javelins are strength because you got chuck. Oh no!
Finesse.
Oh
Finesse
no!
is what you need.
Okay, so in that case, I would have hit. I would have hit, but I think it's 10 now because Palik has a strength of 6, and even if I did hit, guess what? I rolled a 2, which means I get a -2. So,
Well, it's
what would've-
always one.
It would have been like, but okay. Yeah.
So the moral of the story is that you do hit, but you only do 1 damage? Is that what I'm getting?
No, because I rolled a 12. My dexterity is 5, and I thought because I was throwing something, I would use my dexterity, but because it's a javelin, I get to use my strength.
Okay, so...
I think that's how it works with javelins.
Alright.
Yeah, finesse is what you need for
Yeah.
as a weapon property for Dex.
Yep. So
Okey-doke.
this is
Then-
actually very in character, though, for what I have planned for Palik. Yeah, he just like, he's trying to like find out where to put all these weapons that he has on him, and he pulls out a javelin. Goes, I am a silent of the Lord Eater! Ah! And he like
And-
tosses the javelin.
And as we had mentioned, the floors are it's a very heavily lacquered wood. So as you're running down the stairs, you turn that corner to face this elf. Let's just say you kind of lose your footing like just a little bit as you throw the javelin, and it just kind of whizzes just for drama's sake, just right past her head.
That was a warning! You better leave! Do I roll deception?
If you want to, sure.
Okay. Oh, jeez. Here you go.
Oh no!
Yeah, I rolled a 1.
So yes, this pirate lady just looks at you and turns her head back to who she was attacking.
That's gonna be your last mistake!
And for those of you that are still up on the observation deck, you can see that the crows are all still going to town on this railing. They are just splintering it, causing a lot of structural, or not structural damage with this railing, but just a lot of cosmetic damage. And the captain looks at this newly revealed human, lines up another shot. I'm gonna get some water. Lines up another shot and actually completely misses and swears, and it is Brorook's turn.
So, Brorook is going to plant his feet and draw and knock another arrow. Is it possible to try to intimidate the remaining human on the deck?
Absolutely.
And okay. So he's just gonna call out in a loud, ringing voice. Stand down, or this next arrow's for you.
Right, and
He rolled an 8 on intimidation.
oh,
That's probably not working.
and this elf looks at you, and you just cannot read the emotion that is on his face. But his gaze is on you now.
Oh, is that it for my turn, or can I just fire?
No, you could do something else.
Okay. I'm like, well, it's a good thing everybody else here is short. And he's just going to let the arrow fly. Maybe a little bit too close, and it might just like whiz by Darak's head, just over it.
All right, you want to roll to attack?
Ooh, that is a 7.
7. Oof. As your arrow sort of plinks off something hard on his person, the previously unreadable face has a slight smirk now. And we're back to Oishi.
So Oishi, instead of reaching for the dagger, sees the smirk on the guy's face, reaches in the pot and grabs the seagull bits, and then casts catapult right at the guy's smirking face.
Beak right in the eye. I'm ready.
So DC 15 dex.
Let's do the same thing as before. It's a 1.
Yeah.
So he takes 19 bludgeoning damage.
This was a well-fed seagull.
Oh, boy.
Sharp beak.
This side-shaved little friend of mine who is smirking at Broruk then just gets pelted in the face so fast with these bits of bone and cooked bird flesh. It's almost comical how fast he just drops. It's just pelted in the face and then flumps to the observation deck.
Wow, what did you put in that?
Paper.
And at that, the pirate lady that is in front of Halleck is just stabbing the first mate. They're just sort of locked in a little bit of combat. And we'll go over to Direct.
Was the person who just dropped the one in front of me?
Yes.
And the birds are still going to town?
Actually, you notice that they just disapparate.
Oh, they weren't real.
The moment he flumps to the ground.
I'm gonna look over the railing and see if I can spot the falling pirate person.
At this point, you see a struggling small speck of person in the water.
And they're not 30 feet away from me, are they?
No.
Okay.
Probably about 70 feet.
I'm gonna probably see where my friends went and go in that direction. So below deck.
The only one that went to below deck is Palak. Everyone else is sort of staring at this mess of a catapult bird bit attack.
I am going to see if is anybody hurt? I have a good berry. I have 1 or 2 good berries left. And I sort of turn around and look. Does anybody look injured?
Only the gentleman in front of you.
I say, do any of you have rope? Probably should tie them up, but I think I'm gonna make sure they don't die as I smush one of the good berries and try to put it in their mouth.
Okay.
So it heals 1 HP.
I believe that's enough to pop someone back up. And
But
as
I'm
you-
looming over them with my fingernails.
So yeah, as you do this, you see a little bit of sort of consciousness come into this elf's eyes as they sort of sputter, cough, and start to realize what's going on.
No, stay down.
And they're just like kind of brushing gore off of their face. And I think we'll go over to Sloane at that point.
Okay, so I'll look over and see. It looks like Dodek kind of has this under control. So I'll by the railing. Am I able to go downstairs and to the below deck to see how Palak is faring?
Yeah, you can make it downstairs.
I'll run downstairs. And do I still? How far away am I from? Or I guess what do I see? Like I only saw the person like go down deck, but I don't know what else is going on.
Yeah, you rush down the stairs, and you have about 10 more feet of movement after you get down to the bottom of the stairs. You see the first mate locked in knife combat with a pale humanoid woman wearing sort of matching clothes to what the other man was wearing.
Okay, and about how
Palak
far?
standing there. Let's see, you're next to Palak now, so 20 feet.
Okay, that's not bad. I will sort of grab a pendant that's around my neck, and I'll cast command on this pirate guy, and sort of like my voice kind of takes on almost sounds like, I guess, multiple different voices, or kind of darker, very distinct from my normal speaking voice, and I'll tell them to grovel, basically like drop and fall prone. Let's see.
I have to make a save, right?
It is DC 13. So, actually, you know what? Might not be the best idea.
Is that... Sorry, I thought you just said, actually, I'm going to do something else, and then...
Oh no, I just said it's DC 13. Then I was like,
okay, yes.
These are wise people.
Then she kind of like gets this slightly confused look, looks in your direction, and just not really sure why, but she kneels down and grovels.
Okay. And then I think I'll kind of back up a little bit and keep an eye on what's going on.
Right. And at that provocation, the first mate just takes the back of his dagger, just clocks her in the back of the neck.
Is it
knocks her
is
out.
it his turn though?
Oh, you're right. He's after you. Yes, nope, it's your turn.
I would like to approach.
Okay.
And I look to Sloane a little bit
miffed.
I go,
What do you intend to do now? And bring up my scimitars. You want me Anakin Skywalker this druid?
Are you're addressing the
I'm
pirate?
addressing Sloan.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought.
I'll look down at the pirate and be like, and back down at Pal and be like, can you do it non-lethally?
I look at Palag looks at his scimitars in a little bit of a despair, and he goes, "No, not with these."
I mean,
And I reach into, like, the many things that this little kobold has, and gets out some rope. He goes, "I got this, though." I tie this pirate up. And I look, does first mate look hurt?
No.
No? Okay, that's good.
That was just like a cut on the cheek, but that's it.
I almost want to do lay on hands and just be like, be healed. Like gently stroke. You will be healed. No blood will be shed.
You can if you want to. There's like a little cut that's just like a tiny little bit of blood coming down.
You fought valiantly.
And yes, Palik will be like,
Come down here.
Yes? What?
bam, lay on hands, and I give him right on the cheek.
It's 1 hit point. Don't waste it, please.
Thank you.
Look to Sloan, I got 4 more. Where that came from?
Sloan is perturbed, but nods. Impressive.
Two. Ugh.
So yeah, the first mate will assist you in finishing tying up this.
I tell this first mate isn't Connor, right?
Yes.
Palik says, Connor, this is my rope. I want it back. Okay?
That's fine. Do you just want a different rope? I've got
No,
another one.
this is my rope. This is dragon rope. This is dragon rope of the barrows.
Do you want me to just use my rope now so you can have your rope back?
Yeah, we can use all of our rope.
No, this is my
that's
job.
Oh, you're right.
The pirate is just looking up like... very confused. Yes, so you will get your rope back. I will make a note of it.
Good. Go up deck and make sure they're fine up there, because there are a lot of birds eating the boat. They're pecking it, and I hope we don't fall.
Are you giving me an order? You know what? That's fine. Yes, I should go check the railing. Yes. And he'll go to meet up with the captain on the observation
You
deck.
should make him grovel next time if he's gonna talk to me like that. I bet he doesn't even know how to tie the right knots. Here I am,
Kind of looks...
doing the triple dozy do. Under and over.
The... Not Sloan and Palik, everyone else sees Connor walking up the stairs to the observation deck, just shaking his head. And he goes over to the captain, who has started making her way towards the downed, but now getting back up. Other pirate. And we are just out of combat order at this point, so everyone can
I
continue
tied the one that I was like, no, stay down. I realized because I have an explorer's back, I probably do have rope, so I use the rope and tie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She started walking around the railing and casting mending on the parts that look like egregiously broken.
Oh,
Yes.
wonderful. As soon as the captain sees you do that, she just looks so happy. Excellent work. Yes, that is brilliant. Yes. Connor, you should
Poor
page out of
Connor.
that book. You need to learn that spell. It's very handy. And she's gonna walk over to you, direct, to kneel down over this now tied up, bloody faced, choked over a good berry pirate.
I think there's another one overboard, and I'm not sure if they'll survive or they'll come back with more of these. They weren't. I guess I could speak to them, but they weren't real birds.
Oh no. Really? And
Well-
she looks over the railing. Oh. Yep, no, it's Yep, no, you're right. I think it just turned into some sort of fish. That's a shame. And she gets out her spyglass. Oh yes, definitely a fish. Oh, goodbye. Yes, out of range. That's unfortunate.
Well, we just have to be aware.
Oh, well then. What are we to do with you? And she looks down at your tied up friend. Where are you all from? And he just looks up at her.
I say Port Cataro. Oh wait, not me.
Oh.
Prisoners ever give you the information you want? And she looks down. Usually.
You want me to swallow? You want me to eat a bird? Maybe it'll let them know we're not messing with them.
I think I'm done with birds for today.
I'm actually gonna take this opportunity for us to take a break because I pretty desperately need some water before I keep talking. Sorry
That
for all the
sounds
coughing.
appropriate. In the
Yes.
meantime, while we depart on this hydrating adventure, side quest rather, we'll go ahead and go to our hopefully movie thing. We shall see if it works, but if it doesn't, we'll just go to the we will be back soon, and we will be back soon. Like so.
Sorry.
Today. If you get a second during break, you should check out one of our amazing sponsors. We're now proudly sponsored by Roll20, the best virtual tabletop for all your role-playing needs. Over 4 million people use Roll20's virtual tabletop to power their favorite games. And with more modules than you can shake a stick at on their new revamped storefront, you'll definitely find something for your group to enjoy. Sign up today by clicking the link below or heading to roll20.net/start/WTTP. Tabletop Loot is an amazing place to get your dice bags, dice boxes, and more. And now you can get 15% off your purchase at tabletoploot.com by using the code WTTPDICE at checkout. Tabletop Loot. Your party starts here. While you're at it, check out our so awesome merch store, So Nerdware. So Nerdware is the place to find all your Welcome to the Party merch and other amazing stuff too. Head on over to sonerdware.com and use the code WELCOME at checkout to get 10% off your next purchase. So Nerdware. It's what the nerds wear. Devin Rue, the amazing mistress of maps, has kindly supported the channel since the beginning and provides graphics for many of our streams. Head on over to rueinc.com to check out some of the best fantasy cartography on the web. Our Patreon supports the creators and producers of the channel by providing Roll20 subscriptions, cost coverage for video hosting, and more. If you want to support the channel while getting podcasts a week early, gaming articles that are published on Patreon first, a shout out during our break, and more, head on over to patreon.com/welcomepartyrpg and throw us a buck or $5. And last, but certainly not least, help out the party. Subs and bits not only support the stream, but also every 500 bits or a tier 1 sub gives a player or DM of your choice a reroll or system equivalent, and every 1000 bits or tier 2 sub gives a player or DM of your choice a crit or system equivalent. Thanks again for hanging out with us today. The game will be back in just a few minutes.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Ah. Let me try again. Yeah. Oh, wait. Get ready. I'm going to do it a third time. Kabam! Hello! Welcome back! To On Prosperous Wins. Ren, I'm very pleased to be back with you and the rest of our incredible party.
Yeah, we've been role-playing together for over a year now.
Hi.
I'm very happy. Even though I'm coughing up a storm. Sorry, everyone.
No, it's fine.
All right, so where we left off on the observation deck is one tied-up pirate, the captain, Connor, the beleaguered first mate, Darak, Shoishi, and Broruk. Just down the stairs to the main deck of the ship is a tied-up other pirate with Halleck and Sloane. And both pirates are conscious. And let's go back to Halleck and Sloane. And the still slightly commanded, dazed female pirate, now tied up with special rope.
Do you think we should leave her here? I mean, and Sloane kind of like eyes all the weapons that Halleck is carrying. You think you could drag her along? How strong are you? I have to say, I'm not the athletic kind.
Just gonna Halleck quirks his head. I guess I could drag him along.
I'd like to see you try.
Oh, really? I bet you would. I'm gonna make you go all the way up the stairs backwards. How about that?
Sloane tries to like tie Halleck up, but I'm gonna clap you on the back and cast guidance on you.
I feel the blessing of Thala upon me. You, pirate ma'am, what is your goal here?
Really that easy when you interrogate people? Do people just fess up everything once they're tied up?
So on this deck that we're on, is there like is the edge of the ship closed off?
No, there is another railing on this ship, on this deck, but it is a little bit higher and it's less decorative. It's a little bit more sort of closed off, utilitarian type siding. Whereas on the observation deck, it's like the nice kind of lacquered look of like a stairway, you know, Victorian pretty observation deck.
Maybe we should gather with everyone else and let them know the awesome job we done. We stopped you from hurting the ship. The ship doesn't have feelings, but I certainly do.
Are there any other like officers of the ship around on this main deck?
Yeah, there are a number of people that are sort of starting to gather that had been, you know, previously sort of, you know, getting ready for a fight, and now they're sort of kind of like looking to see if there is anything else coming, but sort of generally now like standing down.
Halleck sort of presents this party and says,
If anybody wants a free shot, if you want to feel like you contributed, it's right here.
Sloane will kind of step in front of Halleck and be like, can y'all just keep an eye on this one? And points down to the pirate and turns to Halleck. Okay, let's go back up and let everybody know what's going on down here.
Okay. Yeah, and you see one of the crew kind of comes over and looks down at the pirate, and the pirate looks up like annoyed.
This one turns into things, birds. Be careful.
Come on, Halleck.
At that, you see she's really annoyed.
I eat birds.
Sloane will take Halleck by the elbow and start walking.
Yeah, and you can both ascend up to the observation deck where everyone
We
is
ascend. I ascend in victory. Hands on
gathered
hips.
around the pirate with the ponytail.
Aha! We've caught you again. Luckily, I don't have any more rope.
This pirate is already tied up, I think, right?
Yep.
Not with dragon rope.
Just with regular, I assume, hemp rope.
And it's got all these scratches all over his face and kind of gory grossness.
Is that Seagull?
Where she gets really intent on mending everything around the ship.
Yeah, at this point you've done a pretty good job fixing up the railing.
Captain, I understand that pirates are a problem. Does this mean we're close to the new land?
Yes, unfortunately, with opportunity, there is always opportunity to be a jackass.
Who's the jackass?
Well, I've heard it's a breed between a horse and a mule, and apparently they can't have children on their own.
Those don't belong on an airship.
I just meant idiots take opportunity to try to cause mayhem.
Oh, and that's a male one. That's why it's called a jackass. I think the female one's called a jillass.
Oh my god. You there, pirate! You have great hair. Unfortunately, it's not going to save you from the wrath of what we have in store for you for trying to... What was your goal here? Why would you try to stop us in our noble mission? Because some of us want to cook, and some of us want to do great deeds in the new land that we are traveling to, that you don't have any place in.
I think generally when you're interrogating somebody, you probably should give them a moment to actually answer your questions. Because now I've already forgotten the first question you asked.
What's your name?
Costa.
Sloane, begin an obituary. And take note. Are there any more of you on the way, or was it just you three?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I would. Oishi? Prepare the pot. Captain! Since this is your ship, I believe you have authority on what to do and what to learn.
The captain is now, leaned up against the railing. Her arms are crossed, and she's just taking this all in. She's really enjoying this. No, I think you're doing a good job.
Actually, Sloane, bro, you're a good writer, right? You good at writing? Maybe you should take the obituary. We're gonna mess you up if you don't answer questions.
So Brorook is just standing there with his arms crossed and just staring at the sky, counting silently to himself.
See, he's looking for more of you, and he can shoot really well. I saw it. That longbow's better than any pistol here. Or rifle.
Technically, I'm
Look, and this is the pirate again. You're all on this fancy ship. You seemed like easy pickings. You could just let us go. We'll go pick on a different ship. It's not a big deal.
Have you killed people in these fashionable raids that you do?
Oh, they're fashionable?
I mean, you turn to birds. It's pretty cool. I mean, I'd like to
Useful
fly
skill.
one day.
Dude.
Keep that up, and someone might help you with that.
Oh my gosh, he's scary.
So I'll be like, focus.
Okay, alright. Well, listen. Captain's your only way out of a bad time. That bad time means I'm gonna take both my scimitars and I'm gonna hurt you to death.
And I can
So-
only bring you back one more time unless I
Why would you do
make
that?
you look Well, I mean, I don't have a problem with death, but that just seems excessively violent.
But they were gonna break the ship and steal our stuff and possibly maim us.
You have a point.
Tell me this. What do you know of the island, of the continent that we are heading towards?
Full of a lot of rich idiots looking to find their fortune.
Do you have
Can I-
perhaps...
Take a little bit of that fortune off your hands.
No, we're not letting you take fortunes. We're going there to establish our presence and to make it safe for people unlike you who take advantage of all of this opportunity.
And I can't believe you're taking Ofala's gifts and using it to take from other people. And I just smack across the face. Not more.
Oh my god!
More for insult
Oh,
than
Ayla.
harm. Like a backhanded slap.
Fala, huh?
Yeah.
Can I? Okay. Does Sloan think do I think that this person has something worthwhile to say or to give to us? Can I do an insight check or something like that?
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll.
Okay.
I could do this all night.
Let's see. My insight is really quick. 23.
Oh wow. Yeah, you're taking all of this in, and you're watching Palak get really into the idea of interrogating somebody, and the pirate just seems vaguely disinterested. Kind of already understands that he's either gonna die or gonna go to jail. He messed up. He can continue to play coy. But all he's really got left at this point is toying with this little person who's
This
trying
proud
to,
kobold who saved the ship.
tiny kobold who's trying to give him a hard time. It seems like that's all he's got left is just sassing at him.
Is there even a law system implemented in the doldrums yet?
Technically, no.
The official answer is technically no, but there because no one nation or city state sort of owns any of this land. At this point, it is kind of a free-for-all, although you have heard that there is a group that had started springing up, trying to create a little bit of order law-wise to this situation, called the Continental Guard, but you don't know what their rules are, or you haven't seen a manifesto or anything.
Here's what we're... Ooh, that's a good... Okay, so I'm gonna gather all of us up. Make sure we talk in a small voice.
Are we in a huddle?
Yeah.
Oh, this is just like the Council of Elders where I'm from, where everything's decided by the Council of Elders.
Why do you... Oh. Why the elders? They don't know anything.
Look,
Well-
Palak. Go
Well,
ahead.
it's just that, each the Council of Elders, just each person from the clan who is the wisest, and they're just called Council of Elders. They're not necessarily the oldest.
Oh. This is just most of the time people older than me try to like tell me what to do and stuff like that. Listen. Here's what we should do. It's tempting to mete out justice in this untamed, not land, ocean sky. But when we get to the untamed land, we have to set an example. So we should try to assess what to do with the Continental Guard. And then from there, we can help, make things maybe not like, just, but more orderful. Because the instant we just start... I never killed anyone before.
Well, slow your roll. We don't
Wait.
really need to do that.
We don't? Okay, we don't?
I'm with Rorik. Palik, these clearly trying to just get a rise out of you. I mean, mostly the vibes I get is they're petty thieves or pirates. I mean, was a formidable opponent in battle, but it seems like, I don't know, it seems like they don't have anything to offer, anything more that we can get with an interrogation. Although you were doing great.
I was getting rise out of them.
Right.
They weren't getting rise out of me.
You did spoil my seagull. I just want to throw that out there.
We can get you another
Are
seagull.
you still on the seagull?
Well, I didn't get to eat it.
Threw
Do you
it
want it
at
back?
the poor guy.
Do you want it back?
He was being a dick.
Captain!
Do you want it back? I will put this in the ground right now.
Well, you could
that
always
one,
lick the pirate's face if you wanted a taste.
I'll leave that to you. No, thank you.
Now, Brorook, I feel like you are the kind of character that is probably listening to them all sort of argue, but
I
you're probably
respect
sort of
Brorook.
like looking around for like sanity in this situation. Does that seem accurate?
Yeah, maybe a bit. Just because, like, everyone is also shorter than me, too.
That's
so
a good
Yeah.
point.
What are everybody's heights again?
I'm slightly taller in the dwarven range, but I believe my height is something like 4 feet, or at the most 5.
Yeah, we've got smallish, medium,
In between.
medium, big.
Yeah, it's
2'7"?
Small.
3.5.
Small.
So we're not really.
small, medium,
like 5.
medium, big.
So we're not exactly kind
can-
of like
if we
bending
all
down.
stack-
if
if we-
we're
If we all stack on
Huddling?
top of each other, we will be the same height as Bro Rock. Here's what I want to do.
Orphanage.
Here's what I want to do. I want to feel important. And I think the best way to start is to do justice with what just happened with this pirate. Once we get to the land, the continent, the mystery place.
not sure justice requires blood.
I mean, he was trying to kill us.
And Brorook, you see at this point that a couple of members of the crew have come up to the captain, and they are all having sort of a hushed discussion. And you had heard a moment ago somebody yell out, "Captain." And they are kind of pointing and consulting a piece of paper and talking about something.
So Brorook is going to excuse himself as politely as he can to have an adult conversation with the crew, with the crew and the captain, and just to at least listen in and hear what they have to say.
Yeah, you can kind of sidle on over to them. Yes, well, do you think that that means that we need to deal with it? I don't know, but the protocol's pretty clear that, when a signal like that, because the lighthouse, I'm not really sure. Well, I don't know. I mean, this is a fairly standard distress signal. I mean, but I don't know if I want to, with the pirates and all, devote the entire crew to this. Yes, can I help you?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Just needed a break from the Council of Elders over there.
The Council of Elders here. I was not informed.
Yeah, neither was I. But he's just going to glance meaningfully at the
small huddle.
The mini huddle.
Oh, yes, the very industrious ones.
Yeah, quite. They mean well, but is there a problem? I heard something about a distress signal.
And you see the captain kind of meets eyes with Connor, and the other crew member that's standing there kind of shrugs and is non-committal. And so the captain turns to you. Yes, actually, they, the lighthouse has, that, on the nearest shore of the, coast, apparently is having some sort of problem, and we, may nip a bit off course to scope that out. But I need to consult with the rest of the passengers first.
Oh. I'm sorry, he's going to look at the lighthouse and see what the signal is exactly.
Oh, do you have a spyglass?
No, Brorook is just going to take the spyglass out of the belt of the captain and just take a look at it.
Yes, actually. For the sake of, because we didn't actually talk about this at all, do you think that reasonably Brorook would know any sort of codes? Like light codes or sound, or like Morse code type things?
I would say so. So, as a ranger in the Vesperlands.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. In that case, I am going to send you a message. While I'm sending you a message, I think we should slide back to the conversation with the other 4, just for the sake of not having dead air.
Okay, but that doesn't make any sense. I don't know why we would do that.
Well, where she's waving her pistol around, it's just the easy thing to do with him. Like, we don't need to, lug him all the way back to land.
It's not like we're carrying him. We're on a boat.
Yeah, but, it's just another mouth to feed, and...
With Goodberries, you don't have to feed him.
That sounds like the perfect Goodberries. That'll teach him.
Where she kind of just, lowers the gun, puts it in its holster. It's kind of sad.
Can you imagine just a whole lifetime of just Goodberries?
I mean, Goodberries aren't that bad.
But
Yeah,
a whole lifetime of
Yeah,
them just
they are.
always getting hungry, and then you eat one, and you're full, but you're not full.
But then you have more time to work on other things instead of
Exactly.
I mean, cooking is great.
You don't have to, and then you don't have to waste your time digesting things or, going to use the restroom.
But it's not a waste of time.
It's not a waste of time.
What about after lunch naps? A full belly is great.
You can still have a nap after.
No, I want
It's
a
not the
gut.
same.
I want a big paunchy gut.
Well,
You can't have that
help.
with Goodberry.
I suppose not, but I heard there was wizard who used to travel with this druid, and then he figured out how to flavor the berries so they at least tasted like something when you put it in your mouth.
Okay,
And I think it was like something.
That sounds maybe okay. Would it work with peppermint?
Yeah, I mean, he did something. It was like a cantrip where you could make anything taste like anything.
That sounds so familiar, but it's on the tip of my tongue. Hold on. And Sloan starts like writing.
Sloan says
what if we changed it to, because I don't think good berries will brand that well if we just change the flavor. Let's say they're beans.
Best berries.
Yeah.
And we'll fade screen back over to Broro.
I'm sure we were talking about the prisoner at one point, but now it's yeah.
And the captain is sort of looking at you, just like you just took her looking glass, so.
Yeah. So he'll hand the looking glass back. Yes, thank you. It's a very handy tool. I should get me one of these.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Longchester. How far is Longchester from here?
From the little that you know about the geography of the established couple of settlements and forts.
I'm sorry. He was just asking the captain.
Oh, sorry. It was in a very like directed at DM tone of voice.
So sorry about that.
No, my bad completely.
He's so informative.
Well, and the captain snatches the piece of paper out of the sort of concerned looking other crew member and kind of points it at you, and you see a little bit of a kind of like peninsula jutting out with a little symbol for a Longchester lighthouse, and a little dot next to it says Prosperity, and inland is the settlement of Archaea, and a number of other little sort of dotted things. And she points to the map. Well, it is probably rather close to us right here. If you see, the closest port to us right now would be Prosperity, and we are about 2 days away from Archaea, as long as the wind holds up. I've never been to Longchester.
So Longchester is further from Archaea?
Yes. So it's see if I can do this with the mirrored. There's Archaea, and then up the peninsula Prosperity, and then at the very tip of the peninsula Longchester lighthouse.
Oh. All right, so Brorook is going to think about that for a second, and then head over to the captured prisoner. It's like,
yes.
Yeah. So where's your crew based out of?
I never said I had a crew.
Oh, you had friends. Past
Everyone has
tense.
friends.
Yes, but you had friends that accompanied you over here.
Mm-hmm.
You had to come from somewhere. I can't imagine you were just sort of living in the clouds over here.
What do you give me if I tell you?
What do you want?
There you go. But you don't have authority to do that, do you? You're not wearing a uniform, but she is.
I might be able to convince her.
You look over and she's sort of arguing with her first mate again. How are you gonna do that?
With my orcish charm.
I like the sound of that. Go try.
No, you got to give me something first. I can't just go to her on an empty promise.
What do you want?
I want to know where your crew, your associates are based out of.
Well, we're from all over, really. I suppose if we had a base of anything. We're from Fort Marshall.
Did I see Fort Marshall on the map?
Yeah, Fort Marshall is on a little island, sort of partially between, just off the coast, about like midway between Longchester and Prosperity. But that also doesn't make any sense to you, because you know that Fort Marshall was one of the first outposts of the Lorrainian military.
Huh. What can you tell me about Longchester?
The lighthouse? The lighthouse. They send out light.
Well, that's entirely unhelpful.
Hey, you're asking questions which... I mean, I could make things up.
I suppose that's fair. What was your end
Roguish
goal
charm
here?
is working
Anyway?
already.
Yes, well. I don't have to deal with a lot of people where I come from. So what was your end game here?
Steal
Just
stuff?
dismantle the ship?
Oh no, that was a distraction.
Oh. Well, it seemed like a poorly played out attempt.
We didn't know how well armed you all were. Just thought we could steal some stuff.
That's it. Just petty rogues.
Come on, Charge. You're asking the wrong fella.
Who should I be asking?
Well, you shot Caldwell out of the sky.
Well, I forget. Did anyone end up rescuing that poor dude out of the water?
I
No.
couldn't.
The captain indicated that she saw that person
Oh, yeah.
turn into some sort of fish or something and go off.
Well,
Fishy.
oh, okay. So coded message saying that Longchester needs assistance. Just thought maybe you might have known something.
That's
But
not
if you
us.
don't, I guess it's
We don't mess with the inland.
well. I suppose that ends your usefulness. I suppose things will be nice and cozy for you in the brig, though.
Excuse me, you said you'd let me go.
I said I would talk to the captain about it, but you didn't really give me any good information, so it was kind of not worth anything.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, well, you can take it up with my you can take it up with my conclave.
Dishonest. No wonder we steal from you lot.
You lot?
Adventurers.
Ah. Well, if it makes you feel any better, it's just my first adventure, so.
What was that?
The wind going by.
Oh, okay.
No, not me. I was just making stuff up.
Do you turn
Alright.
to go back to the captain?
No, I'm gonna need to come up with a nickname for it. I'm gonna go to the little people.
The Council of
The little
Elders!
The Council of Little
The
Elders.
Council of Elders.
I'm fine with it.
As you turn to walk away from the pirate Costa, hey,
He'll just glance over his shoulder.
Was it the bells?
Browork's just gonna shrug.
Alright, I thought it might have been the bells. That's not useful, I guess. Whatever.
What are the bells?
We'll probably hear him soon enough and go inland. We don't mess with the bells.
I'll give you one last chance. You say something and you give me something more tangible. You'll hear him soon enough.
I think I'll enjoy my stay on the brig. I'll probably get fed.
Sure.
And you
Hope you
hear
love-
good berries coming out from the side as
Like,
we're
yeah.
still talking.
I'm sure you're gonna love good berries.
Let him have it.
Well, I already gave him one for the day. And I mean, I suppose you could get another hit. He could heal a little bit from it, but it's not going to make you any less hungry or thirsty, or any more hungry or thirsty.
That's fine. It's not supposed to be comfortable in the brig. But at any rate, this person is not going to talk. So we're just going to have to make do.
Okay.
I mean, if I go to sleep like tomorrow, I can't do it today, but wait, actually, I won't be able to do it at all. I know there are ways that people can make people tell the truth, but I almost wonder if it's worth it. You know what I mean? Like you said, it didn't look like that conversation was super helpful. Why were you talking to the captain, by the way?
Oh, the captain's
What's the
going
thing
to
about
want to speak.
bells?
Don't worry about it. And Browork is just going to try to say it as nonchalantly as possible to not give away any sort of clues. But he's just going to say, listen, the captain's going to want to speak to us. We have some decision making to make. So.
And at the word captain, you see that the captain, she's now sort of pointing at some other crew members who have picked up Pirate Costa and are dragging him down the stairs. And she's still sort of arguing with Connor and this other woman. Look, we just don't have the manpower for that.
For what?
But it's really... And then the woman looks at you when you say, for what? For doing the right thing.
Which is...
And then the captain butts in. Fine. And then kind of looks at all of you. Perhaps we can get these very formidable fighters to take one of the small boats and investigate it for us. Will that make you happy? It's not their job.
What job?
Does it come with pay?
Absolutely.
Does it come with food?
I have
Does
good berries. Don't worry about it.
Does it come with deeds
All right.
of great worthiness?
Everyone here who was just witness to all of that kerfluffle, and you see Nellie turn around and Francois turn around, and all of you, look. My associate and I could use a small group of volunteers to take one of the small boats to just go check out the situation so that we can proceed on.
Is it more pirates?
No.
Okay.
I just have
It's
my hand
just-
raised the whole time.
Thank you. It's just a very simple issue with a lighthouse. You just need to stop at the nearest port, pop up and say hi, and then we can be on our way.
I'm actually pretty handy with boats. Like, I could go.
So I have a
Excellent.
question.
That's one. That's two. Yes.
What are the bells?
I actually have no idea.
Well, it's this metal thing with a little, I guess.
I
don't
think
think a lighthouse
little
is equipped
ball-
with a bell, so
I
I don't
think-
think that the bells are malfunctioning. I really don't know.
the more important question is, what are you not telling us?
I'm not telling you anything.
Inside check.
I don't really want to go help this lighthouse, which is probably not even a problem at all.
Well, is there something wrong with Connor and what he wants to do?
Connor is fine. Connor is just kind of watching back and forth as the two ladies are arguing.
Connor, what do you think?
I'm not really here to disagree with the captain.
Hmm.
But I do think that it probably would be nice to just, check it out. We're all starting over at this new world, and we want to make sure that we're, kind to everyone. The captain just shoots him a look.
Well,
So
And the other lady that's arguing with the captain just kind of crosses her arms and looks very smug.
So, I don't know if there's anybody with a more glib or a silver tongue, but apparently that pirate Costa guy knows what the bells are exactly. I can't get him to talk because, well, Forkish charm and all.
I think it's just we
Someone,
don't. Oh, go ahead.
well, if someone here wouldn't mind taking a crack at the interrogation, maybe someone that's around my height or taller, maybe.
Okay.
Okay.
Why don't the three of us get into like a trench coat?
I have a good idea. Give me a minute of alone time. I think I know how to speak to this individual. Okay? Are the bells really
mean,
this big of a deal? What?
I really don't think so.
Well, what about this lighthouse? What's happening there? You just want us to check it out?
Yes. They sent out a distress call.
There's a distress?
Well, a distress, blinky light thing. It's really not that big a deal.
But it's distress!
Everybody on this new continent is just so jumpy.
For good reason. We just got attacked by pirates.
Very
Brorak,
easy.
how about we get to the bottom of this? Let's go to the brig. I volunteer, by the way.
Excellent. That's 3. You.
I have nothing else to do.
Except catch birds.
Connor,
With your
go
pot.
get the chef to pack us some lunch.
It's okay, I have good berries.
Get a lunch, please, Connor.
Do you think this pirate... Do you think if we took them with us, they would be able to sort of point us in the right direction? Because at this point, I'm gonna bribe them.
You see Nellie, she takes her kind of robot hand in her regular hand and cracks her knuckles. Oh yeah, I'd like to talk some sense into him.
Well, Costa just wants his freedom. I don't know if that's something we can sort of just dangle. I'm not really into the whole violence thing, contrary to my profession. I'm actually supposed to be going out to this new continent to study the wildlife, in particular this feral koi pig. Anyways,
I just have starry eyes as you say that, just like
Well,
yeah, no, koi pigs are not. They're not cute. They're an invasive species that's pestering Vesper.
What do they taste like?
I don't know because they spit acid, and I heard that they don't actually spit acid over here. So obviously, someone brought them over, and they've evolved in some fashion, and I gotta figure that out.
If they're quite big, are they part fish, part pig?
No, they are kind of like a cross between gremlins and beavers.
Beavers do taste good.
Where does the pig part come in then?
Brixton, Asano. You should go with them. I think they're all academics.
I am a warrior. I'm a champion of the lore eater.
Academics and a warrior.
Thank you.
And you see Francois kind of blanch. If that's
It's
what you
okay.
want.
I have good berries. You'll feel better.
And Nelly.
I feel
Takes
very
away.
comforted.
All
I'm
right.
insanely
Well,
curious about these. So.
everybody who wants to volunteer for this trip, we'll outfit you with one of the small little rowboats. You can just scurry on over to Prosperity, and we can just wash our hands of all of this.
I'd like to bring Pirate with us.
Sure.
Great, thank you.
Well, we're going to need someone to row. No offense to you guys, but your arms don't look fit for it.
I have water vehicle proficiency.
Well, if I
You
could learn how to have arms like bears, which we're working very, very hard on, then I could bear arm us there. But
There is a right to bear arms pun in there somewhere, but I shouldn't. Yeah, so after just a little bit of gathering up of things, they usher you all down to this lower part of the ship where there is access port to this small, it looks like a rowboat, but you notice that there aren't any rows.
Oars!
Oars. Thank you. And there's actually a very small little glowing blue sort of Magitech engine thing that you see on the very end of it. And Connor goes over with you, Sloan, how to maneuver it. And the 5 of you, plus Nelly and Francois, and a very delicious looking lunch that has been packed. And they hand the map off to you, of course.
For a second, I thought you meant the pirate when you said a delicious.
Oh, and the pirate.
Yeah. I mean, bird. If they turn into a bird, we know what's going to happen.
They actually sent both pirate prisoners with you, and sort of screen wipe to all 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of you on this small little boat making its way to the port of Prosperity.
Is the captain seeing us off?
Yeah, she's, waving.
Yeah. So before Broruk boards the little ship, he's actually going to look at the captain meaningfully, and then take her spyglass and pocket it, and said, "Thanks, I'm gonna need this."
I was actually going to offer to give it to you anyway. But don't worry. As far as I can tell from my notes, that Prosperity is a very safe settlement. It's watched over by Fort Marshall. If we can just fix all of this situation up just very quickly, and then we can be on our way. Goodbye. And you start sailing off to the coast of the New World. After a short amount of time, the fog sort of clears a little bit, and as the sun is setting, you can actually see just a couple of little spots of green as the coast of the New World starts to come towards you. The air is very, very hot, and you smell just the slightest whiff of something floral. And the New World will come next week.
Yay.
Yay.
Because that is the end of episode 1
Excellent.
of On Prosperous Winds. As I promised, you all are now level 2. and we are all between this week and next going to shore up all of the details of retweaking any character tweaks that need to be made after this sort of test combat session. And I was sort of considering this as like episode 0.5, really. And yeah, so episode 0.5 of On Prosperous.
The mystery of the good berries.
Justice for Connor, apparently.
Yes.
Oh, Connor.
He's
Tagline.
being disrespected at every turn.
We should have brought Connor with us.
That would have been more of a punishment for him.
Connor's magical adventure. We just completely derail it. It's just all about Connor.
Man.
It's like a companion's tale, but the hero is Connor. We're all the companions.
So, as I could have predicted for episode 1, had a very hard time following chat. So I'm gonna, go back up and make sure that I caught everything that I need to have caught. But thank you to everyone that came, followed, etc., etc. I think that there was a raid in there, but I missed it, and that was totally my bad. Just another reminder about the Discord, the Patreon for Welcome to the Party, and the merch on So Nerdware. Four, who has our stream key and all of that stuff, will set us up with a raid. But first thing, we should go around and just say a reminder about who you played, where people can find you on the internet, if you want people to find you on the internet. And we will start. We can go back around with 4.
Hi.
Our tech friend.
Before I settle down and find yourselves a fantastic channel to hop onto when we raid, my name is 4. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter on The Forefront. And on The Forefront, we do various role-playing game things. I'm going to be tackling down on my Animorphs hack of Blades in the Dark called Morphs in the Dark. I'll be doing various updates and cool things with that. You'll have to wait and see. I'm also hopefully going to do Alien RPG shenanigans, because I love that universe. And I will be running an Out of the Abyss campaign fairly soon, because that is my favorite D&D module. Besides that, I'm also making a new RPG system called 4 Minutes, and you'll hear more about that later in the month, hopefully. It's one of those things where, I have developed the next role-playing game for the ages. Oh no, I don't know how to play it. So yes, we'll hear. I'll let you guys know more about that as time goes on. But in the meantime, you can find me here. Voila! And we can move on to
Dino.
I'm Dino Diner, and I was Oishi. And you can find me on Discord if you do desire to do so, as also Dino Diner, and some 4 numbers after there. But just look for the picture of the rabbit, because that's me. Yeah. I don't really have anything to plug, so yeah.
Okay. Miriam. I'm going clockwise.
Hi. So I am Miriam, and you can find me on Twitter at media_junkie. And I am also the creator of Surzamine, which is an RPG setting I'm working on, which is South Asian fantasy, in which the Musafirs is based on in practically almost every game I've GM'd so far. Yeah, there's been a bit of a hiatus for the Musafirs and everything as I took some time off, but we should be getting back to it soon. You should see the Musafirs return shortly within January. And I'm also starting a channel, Utopia, which is why my Twitch name is Utopia, if you're wondering why I have 3 or 4 different identities. You can find me here, and you can also find me on 3V which is also on Welcome to the Party, on Sunday nights, where it's a POC one-shot series run and played by POCs.
Awesome, thank you. Exciting. Let's go over to Anino.
Hey folks, my name is Anino. You can find me on Twitter at Anino Gaming. Upcoming streams this week include Cyberpunk Red series on Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time over on the Wandering DM channel. You can actually find my schedule also on my landing page. That's aninogaming.com. It's just some information about the games that I play, as well as the links to some highlights and character art from various characters that I've created over the past year. So that's it.
Awesome, thank you. And last but not least, we got Suze.
Yeah, so I'm Suze at Xana_K on Twitter and Cespian on Discord. I played Sloane, the elf cleric. Now that we're level 2, she can call herself a wizard because we'll be in the rest of the levels in that. Yeah, and I guess you can find me in the Welcome to the Party Discord or on Twitter, but don't really have anything else to plug.
That's good though. Thank you. And I'm Ren, and I'm not dying, I promise. You can find me currently right now. This is the only thing that I am streaming. But you can find me at Atomic Firebird on Twitter, where I will be talking about the things that I have coming up. I guess the closest thing that I have coming up is Tales of Make-Believe, which is an interview show focused on LARPers, getting their opinions in theory, design, how to get ready for a LARP, and stories from their trips to Make-Believe. Also, I'm a player in Heroes of the Hydian Way, which is a Star Wars FFG actual play podcast. And I guess I just wanted to say, too, that my heart really goes out to everyone at Fantasy Flight Games who lost their jobs this week. It's a really sad day for that branch of tabletop. And I have a couple of friends who are in that position. So, yeah. I will be back next week with what is really chapter 1 of On Prosperous Winds. Hopefully my voice will be back by then, as I have a lot of mayhem I would like to put all these very fine folks through, and I definitely did not get to the point that I had wanted to get to today in the game, just simply out of, you can hear it, I don't have much of a voice left at this point. And I really am really very excited about the group of people that I've got together for this game. Thank you all for your patience with me in getting ready for this first episode. My tech snafu is all of that nonsense, but next week is going to be awesome, and I'm really excited for this season.
Same. All right, we will end this evening by sharing the love with Devil's Let Gaming. I think I have done it. Are we ready to raid our friends at Devil's Let Gaming? They are enjoying some Star Wars. So,
oh, Star Wars.
Yes. It was recommended, and you know what? You guys have a great time in the coming week. Farewell. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
I did it. We're done.
Oh,
Yay.
dying.
We're live.
Okay, I have to go to bed because of work tomorrow. So, I had a lot of fun. I'll try not to let Palak go too high-pitched or shrieky next time.
No, it was great. Thank you all for your patience. I know that I was really kind of losing my steam at the end.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I had fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
really
I have
good.
a lot planned, and I basically already have next session planned because I got to where I thought we were gonna start the break at. I always think that things are gonna go way faster than they do, so
That's always good, because then you have stuff that you can use for next time.
Yeah. I also realized that I had completely forgot at the very beginning I was going to sort of go over a little bit of a reminder blurb for the people that are watching, and for all of you about the original setting, because nobody knows what we're talking about with half of this stuff. So next time I'm going to devote a little tiny bit at the beginning to just go over the 5 sort of cities and a couple of differences from this and like a regular D&D fantasy setting. Yeah, so. And if any of you have any additional feedback or anything that you feel you want to get to me, please, I am very receptive to constructive criticism. And
I think I just wrote one thing about the overlay, but that's sort of like
yeah, I saw that. I will make sure that gets fixed. They have to change the overlay up for next week anyway, actually, because is it next week? I don't know. When we have Wild coming in for a couple of different games to fill in for folks, just because I like to have a full table, and Wild really wanted to get into this game, but messaged me after I had already filled it up. And I was like, oh, but I love you, Wild. Oh, I will find a way to get you into this game. And I knew that there would be absences, so it works out perfectly.
Swell.
Yeah, so we'll make sure that the overlay gets fixed. You're all level 2. We will talk about switching your stuff. We'll talk about any rerolls you all need to do. And yeah. And if anybody needs any more information fleshed out about any of this stuff, and I know that Miriam, you wanted to talk a little bit more about the stuff that you had written for your section of Forgatharo.
Yeah, my only thing is that I realize it's going to be mostly coming out through me, or if you decide to bring any me-specific hooks, which is, I know in a huge game that's not necessarily possible, and that's okay.
Oh, no.
So I'm just wondering how much it's kind of like the thing of we all come from places, but we're never going back there. We're gonna be in the doldrums.
Yeah,
So it's kind of is it really like? I'm not sure how much in detail we really need to go if it's never gonna come up, sort of a thing.
I do think that things will come up. I'm a big proponent of wanting to do. I have a LARPing background, so I'm a big proponent of what we would call personal plot. You know, sneaking in there and affecting things. And I definitely want to make sure that if I do play any NPCs that are sort of related to any of your stuff, that I do it in a way that you're comfortable with and is respectful for what you've designed for that culture. So.
Okay.
But we can talk over the next week. I'm not in New Orleans, so I will be available the entire weekend and can flesh out any of this additional stuff that needs fleshing out, and figuring out the captions for next week so that I have all the tech stuff ready on my end.
Fun times.
Thank you all for your patience. I think for a first session, enough went right.
I feel like we all really just got our characters figured out for the most part.
Oh, you're all wonderful. Gosh. And Oishi with the freaking catapult twice.
Oh, that was amazing.
So pleased.
I think that's going to be all my good rolls for the entire campaign.
Now you try to hit things with the catapult and you just don't hit.
Lose everything.
I'm not a pacifist, but somehow I managed to not actually do harm to anyone.
I particularly loved how you all just started keying in on birds when I knew here's all my bird cards that I had laid out for the fight, and you all start talking about birds, and I was like,
Tremendous.
I'm so happy, especially because I have all of these animal decks for the bee shapes that you can turn into, and I searched, and there's no seagulls, no like water birds at all. I was so frustrated, so I just grabbed hawk, eagle, swarm of crows, and crow. I was like, I'll just reskin.
That's how you do it in the D&D.
Yep.
Yep.
Right. I'm gonna go to bed.
Crow.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes,
Good night.
Thank you so
Have a great
much.
night.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.